This week's Bet on Black. We are going to get started. My name is Tawana Rivers, and this is the 10K Project. To those of you who don't know, we're so excited to be joined by some of our favorite founders who are joining us again just to give us updates on their campaign. You know, just because it's the holiday season, we cannot forget about building wealth. We cannot forget about investing. And so I wanted to bring some familiar faces back so we can hear about everything that's going on in the campaigns, give you an opportunity to visit their campaign pages because they are still active. And don't forget, I'm always talking about the gift of equity or the gift of investing and the gift of all the things, right? The gift of ROI. Those are the kind of things we should be thinking about. Our family members don't necessarily need another sweater. They definitely don't need another tie, right? And so when I think about gift giving, I hope downstairs in my stocking, there is some stock, there's some equity, there's a revenue share. I need some notes in my stocking. And so I just wanted to come in front of you guys this week and share with you some of these campaigns that you may or may not have visited. So first, we're going to talk to Miss Ricky with Ego Tequila. You guys know when Ricky came on, I was just like blown away trying to figure out how can we get a pallet of this restocking, right? And she had me dreaming about it the next day, y'all. I literally was dreaming about being on the border and Ricky snuck me a case across the border in my dream. And so I was like, yeah, we gotta work to get her a case or a pallet so I can get a case. But Ricky, I'm gonna pull up your campaign page, remind everyone you are on Seat at the Table. You guys, I
Yes.
love Seed at the Table. They are a Black owned portal. And so Ricky is on Seed. I am going to share my screen. Pull up your campaign. All right. Hopefully you all can see that. So Ricky's campaign is on Seat at the Table. As I stated, this is a Black owned portal. This campaign is still not in its early phases because we've got Ricky. What do we have? January, was it 15th? When's our deadline?
We actually just extended it. So it was December 16th, but we extended it out to January 31st.
Perfect. So January 31st. So you get a little more time to make an impact. There are 15 backers total currently, a little over $7,000 raised. Ricky is trying to raise $50,000 so that she could restock on all of her supply. I'm sure she's going to remind you all that she has sold out like 4 times. And so this is all about the re-up. And so again, for anyone who hasn't seen this campaign page, we always recommend you look through all of the information because the founders have added some really great information in here that's going to help you through your due diligence process and help you understand the brand and the product and the services they provide. And so we always like to bring this up for you so that you can scan it a little bit. For those of you watching us in Facebook, this campaign link will be in the comments. And obviously, for those of you in Zoom, we will put them in the chat. I will stop sharing. And Ricky, I'll turn it over to you to tell us who is Ego Tequila, who is Ricky Lee, and why should we invest in you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Tawana, for the introduction. I'm Ricky Kelly, the founder of Ego Tequila. About 3.5 years ago, I launched Ego. Currently, we're just in the state of Texas. But I launched Ego Tequila because I really got fed up with a lot of the vanity mainstream brands, and I wanted to provide consumers with a different alternative. Um, Once I launched, we experienced so much momentum. You know, we launched during the pandemic, and so there was a lot of excitement. People were out of the house, going to different events, and we sold out in the first 3 months after we launched. We hit a little hiccup with supply chain, as everyone I think did during the pandemic, but we were able to get back in stock 4 months later, and then we sold out again. So there's been a lot of excitement, like I said, momentum behind the brand. And But the journey hasn't always been the easiest, especially being in the spirits industry. I would say about around August 2023, we went on a pause as we were looking for additional capital after bringing on a VC and an angel investment. And um, so we were looking for some additional capital, and we also started scouting for a new distillery and then another mass producer for our raw goods. So we didn't have to continue running into the supply chain issue because everyone says that it's a really good thing to have, like when you sell out, but it technically isn't. I love to give my consumers what they ask for, what they need. And so it really just breaks my heart when I can't give everyone like a bottle. And so from August 2023, probably up until this past summer, we were scouting for a new distillery, secured a new mass producer, and also we're still looking to raise capital. We have But since we've launched, we've like I said, we've continued to sell out. We've secured major features in different publications, Essence, BevNet. We did a piece on the Texas Today show. We also partnered with the third largest distributor here in Texas. And then by the end of 2023, we secured a partnership with AccelePay, which will help us give bottles to those outside of the state of Texas. Ego is an additive-free, small batch, high-quality tequila. It's distilled from 100% mature Blue Weber agaves using both ancestral and modern techniques. We offer two different expressions, a Blanco and Reposado, both which are distilled out of the highlands of Jalisco, Mexico. We are currently raising $300,000 on Seat at the Table. We are offering a convertible note with a 5% discount. I'm sorry, a 15% discount rate and a 5% coupon. Funds raised will go towards scaling distribution and market expansion, increasing our inventory levels, and building brand awareness. And we would just be honored to have the members of the 10K Project community to participate in our round. There are some different perks outside of like what's listed on our crowdfund that's exclusive for the 10K Project community. I will actually drop that below. Like if I can send the link, I will definitely do that. But yeah, no, this is exciting times. And like I said, we extended it out to January 31st because I understand it is the holidays and 2024 has been rough. So, we just wanted to give you guys some more time to participate. But yeah,
Very good. Thank you so much, Ricky.
absolutely.
Since you joined us the first time, you've got me really critiquing other tequila brands, right? Alcohol in general. Like I
Yeah.
never paid attention to the health component of. I mean, it's alcohol, right? And so
Yeah.
we know it's not super healthy to begin with, right? And so I never really paid attention to it. But you have
Right.
me really critiquing these different spirit brands and almost holding them accountable. Like I didn't, it's obviously the holidays, I'm entertaining some. And so I went to the
Yeah.
store to get my stock. And I paid closer attention and I put a couple of things back on the shelf. And so, the
Mhm.
consciousness that, now that I owe to you because I can enjoy a good spirit and still be as healthy as possible. Like I have that choice, right? And I don't know
Absolutely.
that I ever realized that until, you talk to us about just the energy and effort that you've put into your brand to make it healthier. So thank
Yeah. Of course, and we're not exactly saying that it's supposed to cure heart disease. Like
you. Right.
there's no alcohol, wine, beer, nothing like that. Like we're not saying that, but we're just really wanting people to be aware of what they're consuming, just transparency, So that's what we're pushing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it. Very good.
Mhm.
Mr. Wright, talk to us about Per Vista in a moment. Let me get your campaign up.
All right. Yeah, good evening, everyone. And I do have a few slides that I can share just to provide an update. But just to provide context about what Provista is, the reason we started Provista is in May of 2023, there was a high-profile incident in Prince George's County, Maryland, which is where we're headquartered, where three teenagers ran into a school bus and tried to shoot another teen. Thankfully, the gun jammed, but because of that, we went out and did some research to see what technology could do to keep that from happening again in the future. So we developed a platform that leverages artificial intelligence to detect guns. We've since expanded that to detect other weapon types as well. And especially in light of what happened just yesterday in Madison, Wisconsin, there is a burgeoning need for our technology. So what I'll do is provide an update on where we are since we last spoke. So let me pull these up.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So in terms of our progress through WeFunder, we've raised 88,470, and that we have a discount for the first 100,000. So there is a significant development that's going to happen by the end of this month that is going to push us past that amount. So the discount, that's a 20% discount. And what that means is that the valuation for the safe note on WeFunder is $6 million, and the discount would be $5.4 million, which is where anyone who invests gets the equity. We've also gotten 100,000 invested in a convertible note from TEDCO. In addition to that, we do have some major announcements that will be coming to light in the coming weeks and months. Things that I'm not at liberty to share right now, but some pretty exciting things that are happening with the company. So in terms of what we've done with our customers since last presented, we did protect Bowie State University's homecoming this year. So anyone who's in the area probably remembers that there was a shooting at Bowie State University's homecoming last year. This year, they used our technology, and we're proud to say that there was no shooting. So that's a partnership that is growing. We have some exciting things that are going to be coming as a result of that partnership. In addition to that, we did this past October protect elections for a city in Brazil. And what we were doing there is making sure that no one with the firearm was able to walk up to the polling places. And we're proud to say that nothing happened there. We also were doing protection at Camden Yards this year, and that's a growing partnership that we're looking forward to resulting in additional sports teams across not just the MLB, but other leagues like NFL and NBA as well. We're also in the process of negotiating an agreement to support Live Nation, and I'll talk some more about why that's relevant. We've also started submitting proposals to DoD for systems and methods of weapon detection. So we are doing more than just firearm detection now. We've expanded to cover some additional types that I'll talk about as well. So in terms of our personnel, one of the big things that I'm proud of is we added a new chief technology officer. So personally, I've been in technology for 30 years, but the CTO we've added is an absolute rock star. So we've completely redesigned the platform, and before we were using Amazon components for certain things in the platform. So we were using Rekognition for machine learning. We were using Kinesis for taking streams from cameras. And we've also added the capability to detect knives, baseball bats. And one of the things, and we were looking at this, we actually built in this capability before the news started hitting over the last couple of months about drones, but we also have the ability to detect drones as well. And those are the proposals that we have been putting into DoD. So the way our platform works is what is in production right now. We use what's called computer vision, which is essentially the same way your eyes see. We use an electro-optical signal. So any camera or drone that connects to the internet, we can take that stream, run it into our platform, and we're looking for an optical match against our data set of weapons. So we've since expanded that to incorporate infrared, which is the heat signatures or thermal imaging. So where that would be relevant is if someone were walking into a facility with a concealed weapon, we'd be able to pick up the ambient heat from the weapon being next to the body and flag that person for additional screening. In addition to that, we have also incorporated radar and LiDAR for movement. And where that's relevant is with the drones that are in the sky, the electro-optical signals won't always be good if the weather's not great, but You can use infrared in certain cases, and you can certainly use radar LiDAR for movement. So we actually have a patent pending for that technology. In addition to that, what we've been focused on is making sure that because we are such a new company, we were incorporated in October of 2023, making sure that people know that we exist. So we were covered recently in the Christian Science Monitor. We were also covered on a segment on a local Fox affiliate. So a lot of people saw that coverage. I'm also participating in lots of speaking engagements. I've been on podcasts. And for our work, we have received a number of awards. Most recently, a couple of awards, one in October and another in November. And we are also making sure that elected officials at the national level are aware that we exist. So one of the things we're proud of is that we're the only Black-owned company in this space in the country. So we're really looking to amplify that fact and to make sure that people know that there are Black companies that are working in artificial intelligence. So in terms of where we are right now, we do have a patent pending, as I mentioned before, and that patent application is called Systems and Methods of Weapon Detection. So one of the things about patents is while it's pending, it's actually more valuable than after it's awarded. The reason it's more valuable when it's pending is because no one is 100% sure about what's included in that patent application. So it kind of creates an intellectual moat around your technology. So I'm okay with it being pending for quite a while we continue to build out and carve out market share. So in terms of the market for what we do, it's $3.4 trillion, and what we're seeing is 9% annual compounded growth. So it's a huge market and growing. And what we're looking to do is to capture as much of that here domestically as possible. As I mentioned, we've also done some things overseas, but for now, our primary focus really is in the US. So what we're doing, in addition to focusing on the patent application, we are conducting demos with universities and with potential partners. We have a couple of demos tomorrow with universities, and that is a space that we're looking to get into. In addition to that, we are also doubling down on using drones for weapon detection. So for Bowie State University's homecoming, we used their existing surveillance cameras, but we also deployed 3 of our drones for areas of the campus that didn't have stationary surveillance cameras. And that's a differentiator for us. So that's one of the reasons it's relevant that we're going to be doing work with Live Nation, because one of the things we're looking to do that's different from others in the space is we do want to protect outdoor spaces, as opposed to just the indoor spaces that are covered by surveillance cameras. So I mentioned earlier that we're putting in a lot of DoD proposals, and the way that we're doing that is through the Small Business Innovation Research Program, SBIR. So we are looking to not just work in commercial and educational use cases, but for DoD. And the reason that's relevant is the way our model works is we charge per camera per month. But as you all know, one DoD contract can add up to a lot of cameras. So that is something we're looking to do. So I graduated from University of Maryland, and I'm proud that the Smith School, which is where I graduated, actually used our company as the project for this semester. And what they were doing is really digging into the company and determining what our competitive differentiators are and how we can be successful in gaining additional traction. So got lots of valuable feedback from the brilliant students there. And as a result, we did make some slight tweaks, but mostly they validated our approach. So we are a pretty solid company. And that was, like I said, validated by an independent third party at the Smith School of Business. So since we presented, our valuation has doubled. So when I presented before, our company valuation was $6 million. It's now at $12 million. And that happened in less than a year. So we're looking forward to that continuing. And one of the things I shared previously is our end goal is to go to an IPO. So these kinds of metrics are important to us. So we are, of course, welcoming investment. And this is a good time because by the end of the month, the $100,000 threshold that will be surpassed, which means the discount goes away. But there is still a little bit of room if you do want to invest and get the discount. So what we're raising the money for is for customer acquisition, specifically sales and marketing. We do want to make sure that as many potential customers as possible know who we are. We're looking to do some things around LinkedIn ads, Google ads, running commercials, those sorts of things. In addition to that, we do want to continue to build out features based on feedback we're getting from potential customers. So we've been doing a lot of that. And the last thing is security and compliance. So going after SOC 2 audits and those sorts of things can be expensive. So we're raising money to cover that as well. But those are the three areas: customer acquisition, feature enhancement, and security and compliance. So I would welcome your support and really look forward to the things that are going to be ahead of us in 2025.
Wonderful update, Vinard. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I'm going to share the campaign page just so that they can see how to navigate everything, right? And so this is the WeFunder page. You can see the details, the terms of the deal that Vinard went over right here. I love this. You could play that video too. You got to play that video when we're done, guys, because I do love the video. But all of the information is here. You also have your perks information that's highlighted here. And so please visit these campaign pages so that you can read for yourself all of the amazing work that these founders have put into these projects and continue to put in. I mean, Mr. Wright just told you he doubled his valuation since the last time he was here with us. That is absolutely amazing. Congratulations. That's what's up.
Thank you. And I do appreciate the opportunity to come and speak to everyone again. Thank you for everything that you do.
You're very welcome. All right, Mr. Mickens. As I call him, Larry the Ladder Man. With Over the Top Ladder. I am so excited. You know, I share this story all the time. You know, Larry is a founding member of the 10K Project. And I remember when he called me and told me about this ladder and he showed me the information about it. And I was like, why isn't this already built? Like, why don't you have these already in stores? And he was like, I just need like $1 million to manufacture them, right? Because he was like, that's it. And you hear people talking about the millions and billions and billions of dollars that they raise on foolishness. And it was right at the time I talked to Larry that I was looking for like a step stool, right? So I spent like a whole day in Lowe's and Home Depot looking for this step stool for my kitchen. And I got to see firsthand, first of all, how many ladders they were out there, but how not one of them does what Larry's does. And it blew me away, right? Because it was in real time, like he was in my head. And I'm like, okay, this is a lot of ladders. Like, so a ladder that does this, a ladder that does that, but nothing does what Larry's does. And I was like, man, we got to figure out how to get this brother his money, because he is really like, he's changing the game with this ladder. And I'm gonna let him talk more about it, but Larry, make sure you give them the website and all of that, because I want them to see all of the pictures. I also want them to see that picture of Tim standing with his tall, big self standing on that ladder
Adam,
up in the air, because that picture was dope.
Yeah.
So let me show your campaign page first, Larry, before. Oh, and then I will turn it over to you. So Larry's campaign is on Net Capital. He has raised almost $25,000 to date. Company's valuated at a little over $5 million. This campaign's deadline is over January 17th. Larry, are you going to get an extension as well?
Oh yeah, with the way things are going, I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
Perfect. On Net Capital, again, the page is set up just like most of the other portals. And so there's the information page, update, the discussion page. Again, go through all of this. Look at these images so you can see what this ladder does, and it is safe. It is absolutely safe. One of the safest ladder designs I have ever seen. So Larry, I'm going to stop sharing, and I want you to tell the community how, first of all, you came up with the Over the Top Ladder. What problems is it solving? how is it unique and more fabulous than any other ladder out there? Like hype yourself up, brother, because this ladder is amazing and the people need to see that it is amazing. Okay.
I should have went and got me some Starbucks yeah, but thank you for having me again on this platform. Yeah, like I say, every time I come, it's such a privilege to be amongst other founders that exemplifies, excellence in the things that they're doing, what they're bringing to the market, and just seeing that the hard work that's being put into all of their works. The over the top ladder, like I said, I came up with that, cleaning my vehicle. One Saturday morning, I have an SUV, and slipped out of the door jamb, hit my chin, spit out some blood, and went back and, stood back as I was gathering myself, and a vision came to me about, it was just like a rainbow. Came to me in that vision as I stood there gathering myself, and I just saw that rainbow up against my truck, and I saw it touch the ground. And from that moment, I came in the house. I, grabbed quickest thing I can grab. I went to the kitchen, saw paper towel, napkin, and drew it down what I saw in my mind, and started to, envision, then started doing the natural research of finding out, there had to be something out there that has to be to help, do what it is that I've just saw that I needed to do moving forward. After months of research and years, past, started doing all the natural research to find out that there was nothing like it out there. So, I went to work, I was like totally a novice. Didn't have a clue that this was going to be the pathway of me getting what it was that I always saw since I was a child, wanted to have and wanted to be and wanted to do, and knowing that you needed money for those means, right? Had a pretty good run in the job world, but looking at, the things that are out there to see that, being created, I've always been a creator in the sense, of having, things I've already explained before. But this ladder started to come together for me. Spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of travel, going around and finding, and brought it back, brought it to prototype form, started getting, the reviews that I started seeing, and just to go back to where I was going to initially start out, I went back to the drawing board. And there was something that you said, Tawana, a few months back, on one of the presentations that we was talking with one of the founders, and you were saying that it's the infrastructure of most of our companies that stops us from going out and getting the right exposure or getting the right connections and things that have to come together for us to be successful out here in this marketplace, because you're out here competing against some companies that got, like I said, every officer that you could possibly imagine as far as a company is concerned. So I took that to heart, knowing that, and people that have seen me before on this platform and people that haven't seen me on this platform, I've met a lot of tremendous people on this platform, and they've been giving me a lot of guidance, a lot of insight, and a lot of help. That number on what I've raised so far hasn't changed much in the last few months, but it's the behind the scenes financing that is starting to get me the kind of understanding what it is that I'm involved in here. Like I said, I went back to the drawing board to find out I needed some people around me to help make this happen because of the type of product that it is. This ladder game is as simple as it might think, to say it's a ladder. It's not, a lot of sexiness to it, what I mean? But in a way that everybody uses them. Everybody has one, and most households have more than one. And then you find that, that through testing and through people using it, you find out it's doing more than the conventional ladders that's on the market. So I found that while I was getting pushback from the ladder makers that I've been engaged with and interacting with over the years, is the reason because I think in my mind and what I got some talk back about, what type of space is going to take in this market. And that kind of shakes some people. And then, and I don't want to use other things that might, that people have been that's already out there haven't been that helpful in helping me figure it out. So I went out and like I said to Wanda, what you said a few months back, it resonated with me to go and say, I got to go find me a team of, outside of my engineers. And I finally, and like I say, I said, DJ, the money coach, when, we've been talking and when they did the thing with him on your platform, on your 10K, with all the people that's starting to be attracted to seeing what this ladder can be and what it's going to be, and it needs a strong foundation starting out from me on up, the way I have to build it out and build it up. I've been trying to do it on my own for such a long time, going on just the fact there was a ladder. If somebody going to take it, somebody going to give me a lot of money, and then we know when we're going to be on our way. That's, in the fairy tale piece. But the work that has to be put into it is things that I've started, just like I said about DJ, the people that I've been meeting and me, I've been interacting with people. And like I said, that thing we was talking about before, Tawana, about, it's a small world when you start communicating with people and then they start opening you up to other people. And this is what has happened. I met a young lady, Bernard, out there in your neck of the woods over there in National Harbor over at the Silver Diner. Met a young lady over there that's in that does federal contracts. Was talking with her. She introduced me to someone that stays out in Spokane, Washington. We had some interaction talking. Had a lot of conversation, and the gentleman came here and met me a little over a month and a half ago. And what he brought in that conversation, and just that fact that, he said, man, when we started talking about, he wanted to be a part of this. He's seen something that finally he could put his teeth into, and that he has a successful company that he built with him and his brother in another business that he states that that they, it's a $200 million business. And that it's in a totally different space than the ladder game. But he'd been looking for something to get him his appetite back. And he said this ladder was the thing when he saw it, that he saw the website and looked at what it was. He wanted to be a part of it. So he came out and visited me a month and a half ago. We had conversation, lengthy conversation. He stayed, we spent a few hours together, and now we are partners. I brought him on as my director of operation. His name is Mike. And through that, we found that, just his level of expertise and his connections to, the big box stores, and then, like I said, through our conversation, I was telling him about, needing the things that I needed to do. He said, well, look, we need to put together some people. So from that, I brought on another gentleman named Adam. That's going to be my director of logistics. Found major law firm, Lee and Hayes, that deals in intellectual properties internationally and nationally. That's vital. Brett, who's one of their leading attorneys, is going to be my lead guy in that. When all this stuff started coming together and started seeing all the things that started happening from that, it's like I said, I dropped to my knees and understanding about, all that work has not been done in vain. And then I got another gentleman, he's coming, like I said, to see me. He wants to be the director of marketing. These guys, I'm telling you, they're all paid they are not asking me for anything until they prove these milestones that they say that they're willing to do. And after we get this product to the market and get it where we want to go, then we could come back and start talking about the equity stake. But we have a memorandum of understanding. This has been vital in me putting together this company the way I've always envisioned it. And the people that I've got with me now, and and like I said, with the contacts that we was making through, the 10K platform, and then other people that I've met over time, I needed this kind of infrastructure within this company in order for me to be protected as we move out. And also, the gentlemen have already, like I say, we with the incoming president, we're talking about all the tariffs. Messed up. I had some manufacturing get ready to happen in Mexico with the but with all the tariff talk and things like that, it kind of like put my guys on pause. Naturally China, but we started researching in Vietnam, Vietnam and Cambodia and India is, it's going to be like really my place that I really wanted to come through, because India is going to be a major hub of import export taking over from China coming into this next century. But like I said, I went back to the drawing board, brought these people together. I'm going to be doing a lot of things with my page, updating it, letting people know, there's been a lot of things happening behind the scenes. And with our interaction, like I say, people that I've been introduced to, like say, the Dream Exchange. These people, think 2027 is going to be here before we know it. And I need to be ready. 2025 is the year that is going to be like on warp speed type of stuff. Now that I got people in place that's get ready to make things happen, we already laid out a plan. It's not going to be unorthodox anymore. It's going to be organized, well laid out. We got a plan. We got things that Mike had put together that's so fast to see how we're going to roll this thing moving forward. It's a very, very exciting time for me. I've been excited all along with what we had. I always know that eventually something's going to happen, but now I'm assured with all the people that I know and tying these people in where we need them, and the people that I know, the people that he knows, and the market that that we have, that now we are going to really actually realize this ladder coming to the market. So, and also I've also found a manufacturer that operates in out west, that operates in 15 states plus Mexico. Okay. That's got the aluminum that I need. Right. So these things have been happening. I haven't really been active in promoting and talking about stuff on my page because I've been trying to put things together so it can be solid, concrete, so that when I do present it and when I do place it in there, is that now I do have a roadmap that I know now with the expertise that I have on board with me now, along with the people that I've already connected in and already, and I'm starting to get these people to meet each other, people that I've already brought, and with these gentlemen that I've just spoke about, that I brought on board with me to start to make Over the Top Ladder come to life. The website for everybody that don't have it is, overthetopladder.com, www.overthetopladder.com. You can see it. The application for this ladder, what we have is, like I said, has so many applications. I'm starting up the conversation with everybody that I've already passed in, in past years I've had interaction with, from first responders, the military, the everyday consumer, the end user that we always talk about, me and you, everybody that uses a ladder, to make sure that we bring a safer product out there, that people can, utilize to their benefit. And this ladder is going to be that. And we are already refined some things that when we start making this final product, it's going to be solid. It's going to be made of quality. There's not going to be any cutting any corners. and knowing exactly what it is that we have, we want to make sure that it's going to be the envy of the ladder game. We're going to, bring the attention. And I got, and like I say, and with these gentlemen, they're bringing money. So that's going to make it happen. Because like I've told you before that, if you look at it, the ladder, making these ladders is a very expensive game. It's a very expensive endeavor. But now I have people that have money in their pockets that's saying that once we get this manufacturing nailed down, let's walk it home. So I know it's kind of unorthodox the way I laid it out for you, but like I say, the ladder game isn't a sexy game, but it's a very, very attractive game. And like I say, we could do some simple math all day long and say that, for price points that we're going to have for it, I can build up to 28 feet. I got the 8-footer and the 14-footer ready to go. And also I got new technology that I got my guy just got off the phone with on it from India that we going to present, and also get my patent attorney to write it up so we could get another patent so that it could extend out our patents to keep people off of us longer, because the present patents that I have is going to run its course in 2031. But once we add these new pieces and these new things, if the trademark, patent and trademark office approves them, it's going to kick it back out another 15 years. So and the technology that and I mentioned it before on this platform is that nobody have thought of this yet. At least I haven't seen it yet. Don't think anybody have thought about making it do this piece yet. And with the build that we have, makes it perfect. And so we're excited to see what's to come with what we have. And we might change the name over time, but right now it works. Over the top ladder is what it's going to be. But right now we feel that we are positioning it right now without having sold any yet. We're doing pre-orders, and that's going to pick up. I'm let Mike, like I say, he's my director of operation now. He's laid out a game plan. We're going to stick with that game plan, and see what comes of it. And we look at each other like everybody's seen Trading Places, right? With Eddie and Dan Aykroyd in the end. That's the kind of outcome that we want to see eventually. So we look forward to 2025 being a very great year to kick this off, to make it happen the way it's been envisioned, and make this thing come to fruition.
I love it. I am so proud of you, brother. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
The team is everything.
This is not for the faint of heart. Sure.
Yeah, but the team is everything. And
Yeah.
you finally got people in your corner to help you push this along. I'm so proud of you.
Wow, I'm telling you, it's been like I said, I've been seeing, other founders, other companies coming in, and they're becoming more strategic in the way that they're setting up their setting up their teams, setting up their companies. This is vital. So I said that, look, I got to get these things in place before I can say and talk just as big if you want. We sell, but if I don't have the people to protect me moving forward and protect this ladder moving forward, it's nothing but conversation.
That's it.
And just like Bernard and stuff like that, I don't put the label on it, but people have said it. And this gentleman said it too, Larry. He said, I don't want to bring the race card in and stuff like that. Say, but you're the only Black ladder maker in the world that I know of. He said, we got to use that. We got to find a way to use that to your advantage.
That's right.
I said, but I want this ladder to be great. I want this ladder to be very good. And then we can put that as a caveat on what it is that, because, but like I said, the significance of it apparently is bigger than what I figured, because they see it, and I kind of like sit back and say, well, that do mean something. It's ladders, and how many ladders that's made, and nobody of color. Now, there have been 2 ladder makers at the turn of the century that was was Black, and one didn't stay far from here, you know, out in Leesburg, Virginia, with the fire escape ladder. So there's been a couple Black ladder makers, but it's been on the turn of the century. So I want to do homage to them. I want to do homage to us. I want to make these things come to life and let it be something that can go on long after, you know,
Time. It
I'm
is your
gone.
time.
So
It is absolutely your time. And I'll say this, I'm nobody's engineer, but I know a good idea when I see one. And as soon as I saw your ladder design, I was like, that's a good damn idea. Right? Right. And I'm just
Thank
a
you.
simple old everyday person. And if it was a good idea to me, it's a good idea to 100 million more people like me. And so
Yeah.
that is why. So
Yeah.
it says to want to go hard for Larry. I do,
Mm.
because it is just, I mean, he took this thing that we've been using for centuries and he did just this one change and made it so much better. It's like, that's innovation, right?
Yeah,
You take a thing
that-
that everybody knows, everybody needs, and everybody loves, and everybody uses in some capacity, right? It's not the thing that everybody has that's sitting in the garage or in the shed. Like, people use it. And so you made it better. Like, you know, that's like making a spoon better. Something everybody
Yeah.
uses all day long, just something so simple. You make it better. To me, that's a no-brainer, right?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like people are out here innovating and creating brand new, amazing designs. You didn't do that. You took something we all know. So the marketing, right? So for your marketing guy, he's got this in the bag. He don't have to explain it, right? He ain't got to do a whole lot of imagery to, this is a ladder. Like, we know,
Yeah, yeah.
we got eyes, right?
Yeah,
Like, his
yeah,
job is halfway done because of you.
yeah.
And so I just,
they-
like, for me, it's just like a no-brainer. It really
Yeah.
is.
Well, they see the vision. Like I said, them, and you know, on YouTube, you can see a few clips outside of the website. So anyone like that, and I will add them to our site as we go to make sure, you know, to get some insight. That stuff that I've done for investors in the past when I was in Florida. So yeah, we feel very, very good. That curvature did change the game. I didn't know how important it was at the time, that curvature with the stance and with what it does for the end user when they're using it. And it's a very good thing to make, you know, something that people are going to use. This is an everyday user for women, men. The women love it. You know, men, they, you know, they use it, like say the first responders, the ones I let use it, they, you know, so this is something that, you know, I just wanted to make a safer product in order for us to be able to do the things that we can do, that we're going to have to do and continue to do, so that, you know, and see what goes with it. So we're happy about it.
I am so proud of all of you. I really am. I mean, you guys have taken on these industries and you have really become the best in class, right? And if not for money, you would already all be a household name.
That's a fact. That
That's
is a
how
fact.
superior what you all do is. If not for a few $100,000 million, right? Right? But I mean, that we got to fix that. That is what we have to fix. We have to fix this disparity between the haves and the have-nots, where money is the only thing that can dictate superiority. I mean, we've seen so many other brands, right? That are in areas. I mean, I just watched a corny corporate video about safety and if somebody comes into the corporate office with a gun, right? Like, that was their solution, right? It showed me a corny video, like that's going to save my life. No, what Vinard is doing is actually saving lives, right? He's boots on the ground, making sure no one penetrates to cause us harm. Like I just think about how far we have come, and there's still this disparity between money that keeps us from going all the way. And so, you know, to this community here in the 10K project, and anybody looking, stumbling upon this, we got to fix this. And I know, you know, I know we're just everyday people, right? None of us are, or I won't say none of us because I don't know all your business, right? Most of us are not VCs, right? Most of us are not sitting on millions of dollars ourselves, right? And the impact that we're making, I know it matters, but I wish we could do more so that these founders can get what they deserve and be out there making an impact, and in many situations, right, saving lives, right? In many situations, obviously not in all, but in many situations, saving lives.
Mhm.
We got to figure out how to do more, right? We've got to figure
Mhm.
out how to multiply the 10K project, right? We got to figure this all out, because I'm tired of hearing these amazing founder stories and it's only money, right? And then to Larry's point, the patent end, somebody comes with a couple $1 million, they make his damn ladder, right? And we don't even know Larry Mickens ever existed. Like
Yep.
that's the story we've heard
That
too.
has happened countless times of inventors. And like I say, you know, if Bernard looked like Elon Musk, he would be in every venue that uses
Every
safety
school, every
safety equipment
hospital,
now.
every venue. Yes, yes.
The government or anybody business, they would come and bring him to all the places and make stuff, you know, having it done. Like I was telling Miss Ricky the other day through a text message and stuff like that. She's going to be uh, the next Uncle Nearest of tequila, you know, to encourage to know that perseverance is going to take you to where you want to go. And my thing is that, you know, you have nothing to lose. I would reach out to Miss
To
Weaver.
Fawn, uh-huh.
Yep. I
Because
would go, I would call
Fawn
her
seemed like
every
she
day.
down, she about it. It's like she
Yeah,
seems like she's
she's
so down,
about it.
right?
She's about it. And like I said, to see that you got both of you have products that don't have additives, you know, I say I love tequila. When I go to Mexico, that's all I drink. You know, but like I said, but you always dealing with, you know, and like I said, they give you some of the best they got down there, but they got all the other ones too. But when I seen this one, you know, and so I said, hey, this is where I want to put my money. Just like I say, that all I buy now is Uncle Nearest, you know, on bourbon, you know, tequila, you know, when I see that, that's going to be one of the ones I know if somebody else is pure like yours without all the additives, I'm going to buy it, you know, because of the support one and don't and one that is very good. I know it's good when it's pure, when it don't have all the additives to it.
And when
And
it sell out, and when it keeps selling out, right?
yeah, yeah. So and like I said, you know, and just like all of us right here now, just like other founders before us and that's going to be coming on after us and things like that. Um, like Tawana said, we got to find that peace. It's in our community. The money is here in our community. We just got to find a drawstring that can say and say, you know, you shouldn't be struggling with the money. I shouldn't be struggling to get the money. You shouldn't be struggling to get this money. Neither you should be struggling to get to, you know, to get these things manufactured and get them produced and get them in these venues. It's just a thing where that find a way that we got to figure it out as a community, you know, and especially as founders and group. Like I said, I pick up the phone, call people. They might not answer, but you know, I put that call in. You know, what I mean, it might not even be the right number, but you know, I'm plugging. You know, so and eventually, like that happened up to me this point now. Eventually, somebody's going to see, hear, and start talking. That brought this guy back to me. He called me out of the blue from a conversation he had with that young lady that I was talking to out there at the Silver Diner.
Right.
And I could talk to a lot of people that could have changed my situation financially, helped me get this thing. But this guy has a passion and a drive because he's been screwed over before with his company. Some billionaire did something to him, bought him out. He couldn't even make any decisions with this company anymore, is what his story he tells me. But now he's found something to get his teeth back in the game because he has something to prove to somebody. I want to let him go and run wild.
Mm-hmm. But you know what you just said that just stuck in my head, and I need to say it out loud for all of us, everybody watching, and for me included. We got to do a better job bragging about ourselves, right? Right? Because had you not been talking about yourself in the diner, not in a braggadocious, stuck up way, but in a I'm proud of me way, and I want you to be proud of me too, because I'm dope, right?
Mm-hmm.
like we need to get out there and we need to talk about and I'm talking to myself here because I do a terrible job at that, right? I talk more about the amazing founders than I talk about 10K project, right? Talisha fusses at me all the time. So we need to do a better job out there talking about ourselves so that people know we exist and they pass the word, because that's what just happened.
Yeah.
That you going into that diner and just eating, right?
Yeah, but I went there talking about federal money. I was trying to find out how I could get some federal money since I couldn't get it from, from my people. I was just saying, where's some of this federal money at that I can get that can support my cause? And we was talking about that, and then like I said, she's, I got somebody I want to introduce you to.
Yeah, we need to get out there more, pound
Yeah.
the pavement, talk more about ourselves and the great work that we're doing. People are waiting to hear about what we're doing. I genuinely believe people want to support us, right? And the thing we have to remember too is we all we got. Now we back to that, right? I know 2020, 2021, we forgot about we all we got because corporate dollars were being, right, pulled in after
PPP
George
money.
Floyd and all of that, right? And we got distracted, right? We forgot we all we got. Now we back to that because the money's dried up, right? DEI programs are going out the door, right? Special funding for people that look like us out the door. We back to we all we got. And until we realize that and stop getting amnesia about it, we're going to keep having this same conversation. We need to show up and show out for each other all the time, not just when it's convenient.
Right.
All right. Whew. And I said I was under the weather tonight, didn't I?
Pick you up real up quick.
Oh my goodness. I could pull out New Jack City and be like CMB. That's how I feel right now.
Look like you're gonna have your shot at that ego.
Oh my goodness. Do we have any questions for the founders tonight, y'all? Do we have any questions? Talisha, are there any questions in Facebook?
No, ma'am, but Miss Toxin is in there from the Ox. She says she's having some technical difficulties, so she won't be able to come in, but I'll put her information here as well.
Okay, we'll add her update to oh, here she comes now.
There she is.
Hi guys.
Hi Tosha, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry I can't be on camera. This phone is like not being kind, but I was like, let me try it one more time.
Well, I'm glad you did because that one more time got you in here, sis.
Yes, yes.
So let me do this. Let me pull up your campaign real quick.
Okay.
And we will then give you a couple of minutes to give an update. So this is the Ox in Evanston, Indiana. For those of you who remember.
Illinois.
Oh, Illinois, excuse me, Illinois, sorry. And this is a community project, right? To date, they've raised $212,000 from 74 investors. Minimum is $1,000. There's still 135 days left to invest in this campaign. This campaign is on small change. All right, so tell us what you guys have been doing and remind the community exactly what you do.
Well, I am the co-developer of the Ox, and we are a Black-owned health hub. So there's laundromat. You can come and do yoga, Reiki. You can come get your hair done because Black folks and looking good is very important to our health and who we are. But in building all those businesses, we actually own the building, so it was actually just sold to the LLC from our nonprofit. So the small change is how you buy shares in the building. So those 74 people are share owners, and they are now part of members of the LLC. Overall, we have raised about $8 million out of $10 million. And the building will be given to us, finalized January 3rd. So things just got real fast. So I'm gonna have to switch my hat from a co-developer to an owner of a business inside of the location called the Laundry Cafe. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a laundromat, but we're gonna have some dope coffee and chill modes and all sorts of things. So right now we are doing well. We will be finishing the project, which took us about 4 years of a lot of raising, a lot of doing everything. So as you said, I was listening to you about how the money dried up and how all this DEI stuff is, everybody's just tired of talking about it, and these companies will tell you they have all this money for you. And the real deal is they do not. And you have to keep pushing no matter what, keep pushing. So we're able to raise money through philanthropy. state and federal funds, city funds from the city we were in. They gave us $1 million, and just regular folks who are working hard, who want to own, who also want to push community. So that's our thing now, pushing community wellness through financial, spiritual, emotional, you name it. We're about it, and we're trying to go get it.
Wonderful. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, you guys, again, you guys make us all proud. Really. You really, really do. Any questions for any of the founders this evening before I give my final words and let the founders close us out? I see a question. Jerry says, are you all available for a measure of regulation A, mentoring, sounding board type networking in Tampa, and Jerry's in Tampa Bay? So Jerry, are you thinking about doing a raise of your own and just looking for some of the founders to share some experience and mentor? Is that what you're looking for? I'll give you a minute to, if it's easier to type it in the chat, you can. Jerry, you still there with us? Yes. Jerry said yes. So, Jerry, I think it would be nice also if you tell us what industry you're in, because, you know, we've got amazing founders here joining us tonight, but remember, we got about 150, right, in the coffer that have, you know, presented in the past. If there's somebody that's in your industry, we can make a connection with you and them as well, or multiple founders even. So you may want to just give a little more information so that we can connect you with the right founder. But I will ask, perfect. So Jerry, do me a favor, send me an email, trivers@the10kproject.com. We'll set up some time to talk. I'll get to know you a little better and see what you're doing and see who we can connect you with. But for the founders we have up here tonight, I want to touch on Jerry's point a little bit. How important would mentorship have been for you when you started these ventures?
I'll say for me, it would have been invaluable because I had no technology, and now I know a lot more about fundraising. But at the beginning, I mean, just being perfectly honest, I mean, and I think people don't want to admit it, but a lot of people don't really know the difference between pre-seed, seed, Series A, Series B, and what that means and what you should be asking for in terms of investment. In addition to that, you know, just knowing how to do evaluation, you know, what the terms are, what discounts are. I mean, there's just a whole world of things that we don't have access to because it's not in our community. I mean, how many people do you know that have successfully raised millions of dollars? You know, so those are the kinds of conversations that need to be had. And, you know, a lot of times we do ourselves a disservice simply because we don't know the right questions, and, you know, we don't know what investors are going to ask us. And for investors who hear lots of pitches every day, it's a red flag if you don't have the right answers, and they can tell right away if you're not informed. So those are things that we really need to make sure that people are aware of when they have a brilliant idea and are looking to really grow and scale a company.
Yeah. No, I
Yes,
love
it
that.
would have been invaluable to me. It's like, you know, there's nobody there, you know, when you're trying to figure this stuff out. I compare it to, you know, dating. You know, nobody tells you what you have to do to make that relationship start or work. You have to figure it all out. You make all your mistakes, sometimes fatal. But like I said, you know, like I said, everything, I went back to school, just reading, finding stuff out, asking questions. It's like it's draining sometimes, you know, to say, like I said, like Bernard said, that all that terminology, all that stuff you have to learn about the financial side of it, how you get what is a Reg CF, you know, how it works, you know, all that stuff. Like you have to find out all this stuff, and you find it out all on your own, because there's nobody there to, like you say, that have done it that I know of that would sit there and walk me through it. And those are the hard lessons that I learned over time, and I continue to learn, because there's always something else that's coming into play, far as laying out your business and presenting that business and making it understood to people that you're trying to present it to. And I'm quite sure in his tech business, it's a lot more complicated than the latter business, you know. So it's a thing where it would have been invaluable to have someone to tell me who I need to talk to, what I need to do, and where I need to go to find the information that I had. You know, luckily I had Google.
Thank goodness for
Uh,
Google, right?
but that was, you know, like I'm finding out now about, you know, AI, and finding out how that can help me, you know, create scripts and help me, you know, present. You know, I have a paralegal background, and now, you know, when I'm presenting to these guys, presenting what it is I'm looking for, what I want, this is how it's going to work, and things like that, I can go to AI and put me some sort of layout together to help them understand what it is I'm doing and what I want. And say, it gives you another level of respect, because it's going to help you figure out some of the terminology that they want to hear.
Right.
That's what drew these guys, I think, to me, in the sense that, you know, when I sent them the information I sent, I did all of it AI. And because these guys are well-heeled, professional, you know, you're talking about attorneys, businessmen. So it's been invaluable to me like that. But I wished I had someone to hold my hand, to help me go through some of the stuff that I've been through over the years, getting this to where it is now.
Yeah. Wonderful. Jerry, thank you for that question. Excited to connect with you. Any other questions before we say good evening to these amazing founders tonight? Well, I'll close, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. I'll close by saying, you know, it's the end of the year. I know here at the 10K Project, we've had an amazing year. We're headed into year 5 of doing what we do. And so grateful to the founders that trust us to come and share their projects with us, many in the very early stages, right? When things are still like a secret, right? They've trusted us with their projects. And so we couldn't be who we have become without the amazing founders that trust us and come to us for assistance. And then we absolutely would not be who we are without our investor members. And so, you know, it doesn't stop because it's December. We're still tasked with helping founders raise capital. These are some founders that have presented early in the year. Their campaigns are still open. As you saw, you know, some of them have a few weeks, some of them have a few months, and some of them have even a little bit longer, but they're still raising and they still need our help. And so if these campaigns have resonated with you, please go onto their campaign page, continue to do some additional due diligence. And if they fit in your portfolio, please hit the invest button, right? It's as easy as that. The cool things about the portals and the cool thing about the Jobs Act is they have made this process one that is very easy to execute once you do your due diligence and make a decision. So that part I do love, right? They've taken some of the complexities around how easy it is to invest in these founders out of the equation. Sometimes that's the barrier of entry, right? When things are too you know, difficult or not intuitive or too expensive, you know, all those things that keep us from moving forward. That's not this. These processes are very easy. So I do appreciate the portals for that. But these founders are still looking to raise capital. They're still looking to have eyes on the campaign, right? So maybe you don't have it right now to invest, but tell your family and friends, right? The eyes on the campaign, in my mind, is as important as each one of us investing tonight. Like the more people we tell, right, the more people that will click on that link and will make a decision of their own after doing their due diligence. And that's what these founders need more than anything at all. They absolutely need to have as many of us looking at it, sharing these links, talking about their projects, right? We should be in every school we have interactions with, we be in hospitals and in government buildings, we should be saying, hey, have you heard of Pervista? Like they're keeping people safe, right? With all the things going on in the world, right? They're keeping people safe. Have you heard about, Larry Mickens and Over the Top Ladder? Like they're doing big things. If you're in Illinois, right? If you're in Evanston, Illinois, have you heard about this collaborative space where like if you're a small entrepreneur, like you could possibly be a part of it? Like we need to be talking about these things. The same way we talk about our favorite television shows, right? And the same way we talk about sports, and the same way we gossip about people, like we need to be gossiping about these people, right? That's how we need to be spending our time. And so I ask you all, to continue to help me in supporting these amazing Black founders. We've got an amazing year. We're already looking forward to 2025. We've already, been reaching out to January potential pitch founders to tell them how awesome you all are in this community. And so we hope to continue to bring amazing deal flow to you and amazing wealth building content as well. But I just want to thank you all very, very much for the support you've given us this last year and over the last 4.5 years. With that said, Ms. Wilson, I'm going to turn it over to you to give your final words.
Well, thank you for accepting me coming late, not CP time on purpose, I promise you. But you've been great since the first time you reached out to me and we played email tag for months. Without the people, the aux would not be possible. And, and we made it so that our people can own property. We're only 3% of commercial real estate dollars can get you a piece of property in Evanston, Illinois. And if you don't know Evanston, that's the home of Northwestern University. That's the North Shore of Chicago. It's where everyone wants a little property. So jump on board. I'll make sure to go back and look at everyone's projects, and let's keep supporting each other.
Wonderful. Very good. Vinard?
So, Tawana, I just want to say thank you again for everything you're doing, not just for my project, but for all of the projects. I mean, each of the founders, as people have said in the comments, are incredible. From the tequila brand to what Larry is doing with the ladder and to what Tasha is doing with her venture. It's just good to share the space. And one of the most important things about this particular medium is that we're pouring energy into each other because, as Larry said, this is not for the faint of heart. And especially when you get to the point where you're paying payroll and having to worry about all of that as well. So it really is important in light of where we are at this point in time to make sure that we're continuing to provide support for each other because as you shared before, Tawana, the DEI and all of those other commitments that were ripe across the board after 2021 and those have really dried up. So we really have to make sure that we're doubling down on our communities and continuing to support each other. So just keep doing what you're doing. And, I just want to make sure as well that I'm pouring out support and encouragement to all of the other founders that are working hard to make a difference.
Thank you. Mr. Mickens?
Like I said, I've said many times before to anyone I talk to about the 10K project, how invaluable it is to me, to all these founders. Have given us a voice to show that we are worth it, that when we are worthy to have some of these things like we see around us, that and we can make things happen. We can do things and build things and create things that is very useful in this world and society. This platform have given me that encouragement, that's what keeps me going. I go back and look at some of the presentations that have been done on this platform just to grab energy, grab strength, and just keep me encouraged to know that I'm amongst a group that will not and have not given up on making something happen for more than just themselves. We're trying to change the whole outlook of our community, and we need the support of our community. And that as far as the mentor piece goes, I have used founders on this platform to help me understand some of the things that I didn't understand before I got involved. Just to understand about setting up everything and how everything is done. That has been invaluable as well. But this has been a tremendous year. Like I said, the people that I've met, been introduced to, continue to get introduced to, I say it all has been because I've been a part of the 10K project. Tawana, the work that you have done, you continue to do for the founders and these investors that's on this site, this platform. It's like I said, it's tremendous, and I just want to say thank you so much again about how you go about your business, know you're busy, and continue to keep this flow going. And I want to do everything in my power to make sure that it's shared with anyone and everyone, and keep this energy and keep this flow going for years to come. And like I said, I'm very appreciative of meeting you and meeting everybody that I've met through this platform and seeing all these founders, knowing that this is great.
Well, thank you so much, Larry. And last shout out I'll give is to Talisha. So, on Tuesday, Talisha's behind the scenes, so you guys don't get to see her beautiful face. But the 10K project would be me sitting here holding my phone talking to you, right? Like she's all the back end, the front end. She got my side, my back, all of it. And so we would not be as organized without Talisha doing what she does. And I would not be as motivated because she keeps me going and keeps me grounded. She is not only my business partner, but she is my very best friend. And to work with her every day has been a blessing, a joy, and definitely my pleasure. And so she doesn't like a whole lot of fanfare. So those hearts, she's gonna fuss at me for y'all giving her all those hearts. But T-Shine, I love you and I thank you so much. This has been a good year.
My pleasure.
She's so modest. All right, everyone, you know what to do. You've got the campaign links. Those of you who are watching the replay, thank you. We hope to see you in the Zoom next year. We are taking the next 2 weeks off, right? Because it's the holiday season and we deserve to have a little fun too. So we will join you back here on Monday, January 6th. That's our next session. For those of you who celebrate the holiday, please have an amazing time, however you choose to celebrate that. For those of you who may not celebrate it, I want you to have an amazing time too, right? Because just because it's Christmas doesn't mean you can't still celebrate that it's Wednesday. And so I want you to have an amazing next Wednesday if you don't celebrate Christmas. And for those of you who might be spending this time alone because you don't have family or loved ones, do something to love yourself. Don't sit in a dark space. Open the windows, turn the light on, do something to remind yourself that you are amazing, right? Don't sit alone and feel alone. If you guys need to reach out on the holiday because you're feeling depressed, trivers@the10kproject.com. Shoot your girl an email. We'll chit chat. I don't want anybody to feel alone. So much is going on in this world, and we all deserve to have someone to talk to if we need to. So with that said, peace and blessings to all of you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I wish the best for all of you. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.